Welcome, everybody, to a historic week here in Albert Park, here in Melbourne. It is time to go racing here around the Albert Park Lake. It's going to be a lot of fun racing here. 58 laps, 191 miles in store for the drivers racing here in Melbourne. It's a doubleheader. A race here today on Saturday, a race tomorrow on Sunday. Front of the field, Sakura Ishibashi will lead the field to green here in Melbourne for race one. Qualifying earlier today was a wild one. It is Ishibashi on pole ahead of Shufan Zheng. Not something a lot of people would have predicted going into the weekend, given how strong Honda was in qualifying. It's a Ford getting their first pole position on their return to the sport. And what a way they've arrived. Shufan Zheng alongside on row number one. Started second last time out last week in Adelaide, and doing so again here in Melbourne. Led the most laps last week as well, led 43 laps out of 94. Just couldn't get the race win. Strategy calls ended up being a really big factor in how that race played out. They're going to hope that that is a little bit more friendly this time out of Melbourne. Again, 58 laps. We'll see the primary compound tires as you see them on the car here this afternoon. It'll be the alternate compound tires tomorrow. Going to be a very interesting dichotomy of how that race sort of develops here. 1 minute 16.427, the pole lap here by Ishibashi earlier this afternoon. Going to be a little bit slower in the race pace, looking at closer to 120s, 121s on the race pace here. But still going to be a lot of fun going into the race. Cameron Jackson and Natalia Velisevich sitting in row number two. Again, Ford showing up really strong here, taking it right to the Hondas on the road courses here. We were expecting the Fords to show up a little bit more on the ovals once we got back to Texas in a few weeks' time. But they're bringing the fire today. Alicia Kovalkiewicz and Thomas Rogers. It is Toyota's in row number three, as it was a week ago. Kovalkiewicz once again leading the fire for Toyota and for Arrowhead Racing. Thomas Rogers, who won last time out in Adelaide, doing a fantastic job in row three as well, trying to defend that World Championship lead that he earned for the first time in his career last week. Andrew Draco into the top 10, made it through to Q3 earlier today alongside Kuni Kinoshita, pair of world champions in row four. Another world champion, 46-time race winner Stephanie Porter-Kelly in the fifth row alongside Kage Kobayashi, who made the top 10, made Q3 once again for Vontae Racing. Mia Valdez missed out just a little bit in for Q3, starting in row six alongside Anastasius von Sonnen. Von Sonnen got a podium last week in Adelaide, looking to keep the good vibes going here in Australia for the doubleheader here in Melbourne. He starts 12th. Alongside BK Glover in row 7 is Julia Takani, the leading rookie contender in the Rookie of the Year battle. Two-car fight in that Rookie of the Year conversation. Catherine Hart in row 8, just behind Takani, to the outside of Evangeline Porter. Simona Leroux and Bianca Lucero, they make up row number 9. They just barely made it in to Q2, but they got ahead of Asher Crane, who went from pole position last week down to 19th to start the race weekend here in Melbourne. She's alongside Wyatt Jones. Wyatt Jones eliminated in Q1 in qualifying earlier today once again. Esther Hofson also failing to make it out of Q1 yet again alongside Artem Kozlov. A big shock there for Kozlov not to make it out of Q1 for the first time. Elise Alexander, the Chevrolet car, alongside the defending champion Nicole Lechty. They make up row 12, struggling mightily to get those Chevrolet powertrains where they need to be here in Albert Park. Matthias Michelin and Marcus Petrovich, they make up row number 13. They're the last row of the field. Once again, Petrovich having a penalty to serve. Qualified 24th, only able to serve two positions of that 10-spot grid penalty for his engine failure in Adelaide. He'll have to serve the next 8 positions of that penalty in the next race. It'll carry over. It'll roll over to the next round. First race with the official new pace car of the AT&T Champ Car World Series and the Firestone Champ Car Challenger Series. We'll talk about that Shelby GT500 more. We'll send it trackside for the command.
Drivers, start your engines!
Right on cue. We're getting better with that. The Shelby GT500 pace car. We got to see it a little bit earlier on in the camera shot as the field gets ready to go. There it is, right there. Shelby GT 500 pace car rolling around, celebrating Ford being the newest manufacturer in the field. We'll see different Ford pace cars throughout the season. We'll see the Ford F-250 Raptor throughout the season as well. We'll see a lot of fun from the Blue Oval as they represent their brand in Champ Car. 26 cars, though, ready to go racing here at Albert Park. 5 races between P8 Supercars and the Champ Car World Series. The fans in Albert Park getting their money's worth. Saturday is underway. Green flag is in the air, and away we go. And it's the run down the turn one. No, huge trouble, and Shufan Zhang once again in trouble, rejoining the field. But that was a huge crash in turn number 1. You see the safety car is out. And that's Cameron Jackson, center of your screen, in huge trouble on the opening lap. Sakura Ishibasha gets away safely and cleanly. Teammates in trouble. Shufan Zhang and Cameron Jackson making contact turn 1. They race back to the line, so here comes Andrew Draco trying to take on Alicia Kovalkiewicz. Fast section of the track, almost 200 miles an hour is what we saw in qualifying through that sector, going into that left-right flick. Felicevich in second, sits ahead of both of them. There is Sakura Ishibashi, the 33. There's Ashford Crane, also in pit lane. Looks like there's another incident with, that is Simona Leroux, the 77. A lot to break down here in Melbourne, but caution flies on lap 1. And there's the Shelby pace car, and there's the 3 wide battle further on back in the order. And 3 cars out in early succession here in Melbourne. Let's take a look at the opening lap. And this is very interesting. We'll play in slow motion here. This looks like could be contact. Right on board with Cameron Jackson here. Shufan Zhang got a little bit of help. Cameron Jackson trying to turn for the corner for turn 1. It doesn't get to make it, and you see the slide. The tire's locked up, but when you're in the sand, you just sort of skate over it. Now let's take a look here. Further down the order. What happens to Asher Crane? That'd be a very interesting question to see if we can figure this one out. Crane, this is another tight section. Seems they get away with it there. This is Leroux, so Leroux's in this group right now. They're right behind Julieta Takani, and it looks like Anastasius von Sonnen. It's a little bit of a freight train here in this group. Okay, so this is the second half of the lap through the flick chicane. Oh, and that's what happened. Leroux checked up, and that's a huge flip for Leroux, who lands on the tires. And Crane ends up resting on Leroux. So caution out for the first time today. Sakura Ishibashi, the pole sitter, still leading the way over Natalia Felicevich, Alicia Kovalkiewicz, Andrew Draco. See the lights still flashing on that Shelby GT 500 pace car. There's Stephanie Porter-Kelly behind Thomas Rogers. This is for 6th position where Porter-Kelly's at right now. Then you see the Pertec car of CUNY Kenosha. Andrew Draco comes in. Shufan Jang will come in. Pit lane is open this time by. Not a lot of takers here at pit lane on the opening lap. A couple. Looks like that was Catherine Hart also coming down pit lane. And it looks like it may be Petrovic coming down pit lane. Not a lot to lose if you are Petrovic. And it is. So 3 cars out in early succession here. You see Cameron Jackson still pit lane there. There is Petrovic trying to get service. Lights are out on the Shelby GT500 pace car. There is Petrovic rolling once again. Catherine Hart getting some extended service there. Andrew Draco getting some service as well. We'll get out in front of the 21. Shufan Jang out the quickest. I think they were kind of checking over the bodywork there. And Catherine Hart under extended service repairs. There's some work being done here again as we see work being done. You see the 2 cars on pit lane, Cameron Jackson and CUNY Kenosha, or not CUNY Kenosha, Catherine Hart rolling around on track here. And that's the Shelby GT500 pace car leading the way, leading a Ford, leading the field. Sakura Ishibashi and Natalia Velicevic, 2 Fords and a Toyota at the front of the field. Honda taking a pretty decent beating here. 2 of their 5 cars already out of this race with Cameron Jackson and Astra Crane out. Field continues to roll 55 mile an hour, the pace speed here in Melbourne. Tires are going to be pretty cold when they get back up to racing speed. Rolling into the last couple corners here, the pace car will take the right-hand drive down pit lane. It'll be under the hands of Sakura Ishibashi, who was the pole award winner for most poles in 2023, looking to get into victory lane a little bit sooner in 2024. Good chance to do so here this afternoon. Racing is back underway to kick off lap 4. We're racing once again in Melbourne, and they fan out big time as Velicevic goes for a shot and couldn't do it. Kovalkiewicz pinched off that corner in turn 1 and takes 2nd place easily. Rogers gets around for 4th. And there's Porter-Kelly in tow as well. Everyone fighting it out a little bit. Velicevic really struggling to get back going here. There's not Andrew Draco, that is BK Glover now in the mix. That Verizon number 6. Then Kage Kobayashi. Then you have the 32 of Kenosha ahead of the 3rd Cat Devil Racing car in Mia Valdez. And they're going to challenge themselves a little bit. Fastest part of the racetrack again, touching 200 miles an hour. be a little bit tense. There's Von Sonnen off of the podium last week in Adelaide, sitting mid-pack. Then there's Porter, then there's Takani, there's Wyatt Jones, who got shoved off the nose by Lucero. Lucero feisty still. After a phenomenal result in Adelaide a week ago, Wyatt Jones looking for more. Didn't have a bad run, ended up 12th in the race a week ago, but still looking for pace in qualifying. Catherine Hart still in pit lane. Andrew Draco floundering right now, as it looks like there is Esther Hofson coming down pit lane as well. So another Honda with issues, and this could be Marcus Petrovic. It is Petrovic with issues still. Petrovic, who, as we mentioned earlier, had a penalty for an engine failure last time out. Struggling now here in Melbourne to kick off the weekend. Again, another race, but it's very important to note for the drivers right now, you have to finish on the lead lap here. It is very critical. All the lead lap finishers are inverted to create the starting grid for tomorrow's race. If you're not on the lead lap, or if you don't finish, you don't get to be part of that grid inversion. So it's vital right now that they get it sorted out. Ishibashi leading the way ahead of Kovalkiewicz. Both of them three-time race winners last season. They get to duke out a little bit of here ahead of Thomas Rogers, ahead of Stephanie Porticelli. Stephanie Porticelli did not look to be the strongest of the bunch last week in Adelaide. She has figured out that Chevrolet power plant, because here she is looking at the podium places once again with a car that just about every Chevrolet driver has said is not optimal for road courses at the moment. Porticelli just willing herself forward into the top 10, qualified top 10 earlier today for this race, got into Q3. And is just running with it right now, sitting right now in fourth, ahead of Velicevic, ahead of Glover. So big time moments in the field right now. Rogers really losing touch there with the fellow Toyota car. Again, different teams for Toyota between Arrowhead and Team Impulse. Both of them going at it still. They were rivaling teams, and when they were both powered by Alpine. Now they're back at it again, being powered by Toyota. Ishibashi trying to break the draft on Kovalkiewicz. Kovalkiewicz staying in the tow. Entering turn 1, 183 miles an hour for Kovalkiewicz, 179 for Ishibashi. But again, dirty air around this track also going to be a factor. Kovalkiewicz keeping the Japanese driver honest as this race moves along. Right now, 3 cars out of the race: Cameron Jackson, Simona Leroux, and Astrid Crane. Catherine Hart still on pit lane for extended repair work after what has been reported to be an electrical issue on the 31. So the woes from the wastegate failure last week in Adelaide to the electrical issue here in Melbourne is really putting that 31 team on the back foot. Wow, look how wide some of the drivers are going there, almost into the gravel with how they're going. Kaiwa Kobayashi went wider than Velicevic did. Trying to find a way around Glover at the moment. There's Velicevic trying to find a way around the 3-time champion Porticelli. Fastest lap right now is an 80.3 by Ishibashi. That was set on lap 5. Kovalkiewicz has lost touch a little bit with Ishibashi. but not terribly out of range just yet. And this is where it becomes a little bit more fair of a fight. The Honda car, we've noted throughout preseason in the opening rounds, huge weight advantage in terms of where they can place the weight balance of the car in those cars, and it helps out a lot with tracks like Adelaide, like Melbourne, like Mexico City, which we'll go to in 2 weeks. The Ford and the Toyota seem to be in the mix together. Toyota with the twin turbo inline 4, Ford with the twin turbo V6. Seemed a little bit different. They seem to be pretty close together. The Chevrolet was inarguably the fourth engine manufacturer from the results we saw in preseason and overall what we've seen throughout the season. Chevrolet needing a little bit of help, but Ford and Toyota was a lot closer, and we're seeing that right now. Keeping each other honest. Toyota won last time out with Thomas Rogers ahead of Kimi Kinoshita, the Ford. And now it's once again Ford and Toyota, although this time it's the Ford ahead of Toyota this time. And they have both left Thomas Rogers. They have left him in the dust. 3.6 the gap from Rogers to Ishibashi. Which is absolutely wild. Rogers in third place, again under pressure still from Porticelli and from Velicevic. Toyota, Chevrolet, and Ford all in the conversation right now. Honda right now really nowhere to be seen. Best Honda car right now is Von Sonnen in 10th. It has been a struggle. Heineken Grand Prix of Melbourne kicking off the weekend. We have the Rolex Grand Prix tomorrow as part of the doubleheader. A lot of fun. Everything we're seeing here in Melbourne so far. It's fun to be at Albert Park. Facility opened in 1996 as Melbourne's response to the Adelaide Street Circuit. Scenic around the Albert Park Lake. And now, extremely fast too. Again, fastest part of the racetrack here. Speed traps, the fastest speed trap belongs right now to Porticelli, 201 miles an hour. So that Chevrolet still has some get up and go. And you're seeing that. That's why Porticelli set that 201 in the speed trap, because she has left Velicevic behind. Absolutely fantastic stuff so far. Ishibashi still leads. The gap keeps fluctuating up and down here. Kovalkiewicz struggling to maintain that consistency. A couple laps faster than Ishibashi. Overall, I think just struggling to find the consistency in that Toyota. Dropped from 0.7 to 1.3 seconds and trying to pull that back. They are consistently faster than Thomas Rogers and Porticelli. So you're looking at the situation as it is right now. You'd wish for a little bit better. We've been doing in the ABN Sports 1. Your home for the ABN Champ Car World Series and the Champ Car Challenger Series all season long. You get to bring all the action here from Melbourne, Victoria, Australia. Kovalevich reeling in Ishibashi. Ishibashi 121.4. Kovalevich, her fastest lap of the race, a 120.7. Huge. $199 for Kovalevich there behind Ishibashi in the speed trap. Ishibashi pulling away a little bit here. See his lap times were this time 121.3 to 121.6, so a 3/10 gain for Ishibashi that time. But Kovalevich keeping Ishibashi honest and keeping everyone pushing here. Rogers, I feel like, has kind of accepted that he has not got the pace that they've got right now. Although it wasn't that bad that lap around, he was right in between Kovalevich and Ishibashi in the speed times, 121.5. Issue is that Porticelli is faster than everybody, 121.2. That's wild. A lot of cars struggling for speed at the moment, trying to find the ability to gain on the race leaders. It's not the easiest task. The pole sitter Ishibashi's led all 12 laps so far in this 58 lap event. Here comes, Velesevich tried to send in. Koval, Porticelli went to the sand, pinched off Velesevich, almost a crash there. Porticelli held onto the position, but almost paid for it. Kicking up some sand there in Sector 3. That almost worked out for Velesevich, but it also resulted in a horrible crash. These four in a little bit of a bundle on their own. A little bit further down the order, you got Kage Kobayashi leading Kini Kenosha, Mia Valdez, Anastasia Fonsonen still in the top 10 at the moment. Slipstream train going on right now at the edge of the top 10. There's Porter and there's Takani. Takani close. Trying to close in on a pass, potentially. Takani right now sitting in 12th behind Porter. Yeah, the safety car on lap 1. It's been quiet since so far. A couple of near sins though, which has been very fun to follow. Takani right there, right on the gearbox of Porter. Burning those tires up. That's where it gets difficult for Takani, because Takani had so much built up, and now Porter's right in the slipstream of Von Sonen, and everyone trying to get a chance at 10th place right now. There's Lucero. There's Wyatt Jones. There is Elise Alexander. Several positions gained for Nicole Lechty, who found a way around Artem Kozlov. You see, there is Matthias Michelin and Shufan Zhang. Andrew Draco on an island. There's Marcus Petrovich, and then there is the 28, and Esther Hofston. Last car on the lap, last car running right now on the track. Up front, still an island of relevancy for Ishibashi and Kovalkiewicz. Ishibashi's been a little bit quicker, been able to outbox, out-rattle the 96. Looking to keep it that way. Thomas Rogers and Stephanie Porter Kelly stepping away from Velisevich and Glover for third. It's going to be more of a two-car fight there. Around the final corner there towards turn one now. Away we go. Kobayashi right now in the 7th position, Kinoshita in 8th. 9th place, Mia Valdez. Chero and Wyatt Jones and Alexander beginning to close in. Wyatt Jones in 14th, trying to get to the top half of the field once again. A lot closer to that before pit stops already than where he was last time out in Adelaide. Already in a good place. Just trying to add to it. See Lechty and Kozlov further back in the order, trying to outfight each other here. Kozlov has to be furious with how the season has started for them. It's not been a great start of the season, that is for sure. Tell you what, Esther Hofston's in range of potentially going a lap down here, and that could help out Kovalkiewicz, who has lost touch significantly with Ishibashi. Ishibashi leads the way here to kick things off, has led every lap so far in this event. With 40 laps to go. Lap traffic could become a factor. It was a huge factor in Adelaide last week. Could be a factor here this afternoon. Ishibashi's been out-dueling, outpacing Kovalkiewicz. Was by about a tenth that last lap, but it was by 4/10 that before that and 3/10 before that. Ishibashi's got that long-run car right now that is absolutely unstoppable. Further down the order, Stephanie Porter-Kelly's gotten around. Thomas Rogers for third. Thomas Rogers could slip out of the fourth position and into fifth if Elisabeth has a say. Points leader under pressure. Keep an eye on Glover. Glover trying to find a way around. Looks to the inside, over and under, around. No. Glover couldn't convince Filicevic in either direction. But Glover looking. So Porter-Kelly now up to third place on the podium places, although 7.3 behind the race leader. Ishibashi, the fastest car on track still, only one in the 121 still. Everyone else is in the 122s or slower. Andy Draco's got to have some sort of problem on his car. He's in the 125s. Here it goes. Esterhofsen in the 28. Becoming the first car a lap down. Hofsen with, that was a little bit of, almost like a fade. Not running well, sitting with the 124s compared to Ishibashi's 121s. Huge moment there for Ishibashi, trying to go around, and now in threat of losing the lead of the race. Kovalkiewicz peeks to the inside. Can't make it happen there, but Ishibashi also slow. Neither wanting to throw the car away. Rightfully so. They've got time to play with, but now they need to figure out how they're going to get around Esterhofsen. Lap traffic will not be nice here this afternoon. And for Esterhofsen, this is critical. Staying on the lead lap means pole position for tomorrow. And for Esterhofsen, who's been bounced out of Q1 both weekends to kick off the season, a good starting position for race 3 would be vital. Andrew Draco, though, with 125.6. 3 seconds off the pace right now, that 13 car is. It seems like there's a lot of issues right now for that Phantom Motors squad. Which is unusual given the performance of the 4 teams that we're seeing. And once again, this is big. This is huge. Oh, boy. Kovalkiewicz was not being denied that time. Got around. Ishibashi tried to squeeze Kovalkiewicz. Kovalkiewicz was okay with going off the beaten path and getting to the race lead, but it was not without contact and not without a little bit of bodywork damage. You see that on the side. And Kovalkiewicz will be fuming by that move from Ishibashi to try to defend the race lead. Here comes Ishibashi at it once more. You begin to smell the blood in the water. This could be tense. Not a lot of love lost between Ishibashi and Kovalkiewicz. Kovalkiewicz peeks to the inside this time. And gets clear. critically gets clear. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Did what Ishibashi couldn't do, and that was get clear of Hobson. And now it's a dispatch. That was a bit of a kick to the face there for Ishibashi. Wow. That's just wild stuff all the way through. That's just wild. Oh, Ishibashi had to find a way around in one of the hardest places to pass. Wow, huge high commitment zone right there. But does get around, and now Ishibashi's got to be on the pursuit to get back to the race lead. Kovacevic leads over Ishibashi, over Porticali, center of your screen, over Thomas Rogers, over Natalia Velicevic, your top five. You see Andrew Draco. His times are just not reflecting anything at all. 125.9. There's a huge problem with that 13 car. That car's got a handling issue. You could hear it a little bit there, just breathing out of the throttle on exit. There's got to be some suspension damage on that 13 car. Or floor damage from debris from the lap 1 contacts. If he ran over debris and he damaged the floor, that's where most of the downforce of these cars are generated. That is going to be a significant loss of grip for him. And so if he's battling with a lot of understeer or a lot of just general unbalance, it could be the underflow that's been damaged in this race already, because Kovacevic is right there on him. Once they got around Hobson, it was easy for Kovacevic to pull right there, and not even getting to the exit of the corner, Kovacevic is there and gone. Ishibashi unable to get there quite in time, but shouldn't have a lot of problem getting around him this lap. There's Hobson ahead of Porticali. Hobson now a lap down. Same with Draco. Porticali got to find a way around to avoid losing spots to the cars behind. Rogers, Velicevic, Glover, Kinoshita. Porticali, see if Porticali makes a send here. She will not. Rogers does, and it doesn't pay, but it doesn't pay for Glover even more, who had just gone around Velicevic, lost that spot immediately. Porticali knew that was not a passing opportunity, didn't block it, and now you see Porticali to the inside of Hobson here. That is what a 46-time race winner is going to do. Pick your moment, pick your pass. Porticali now approaching her longtime rival, longtime adversary, who is not in the right place. Draco, struggling so far. Getting confirmation that he did run over debris on lap 1. Porticali again, picking her spot, just nestled between two lap cars. This thought about making a move. May make a move here, does make a move here on the exit. And Hobson's going to go around too, and it is a mess in this part of the racetrack. Several cars together. There goes Kenosha around Velisevich. Kenosha's now made up 2 spots. Got around Glover the lap before. Got around Velisevich there. By the way, at the front of the field, Kovalkiewicz, now that she's got that clean air, 2.1 the gap to Ishibashi at the front of the field. Whoa, trouble for Rogers. And teammates almost made contact there, Glover and Rogers. Rogers got thrown off big time under braking in turn 1. Valdez trying to challenge, won't be able to. It is a free-for-all right now. Because now you see the drivers that were outside the top 10 in this mix as well. Wyatt Jones, Bianca Lucero, Evangeline Porter, Julia Tacani, all in the mix now. This could get ugly. Velisevich, Kenosha, and Glover under the gearbox of Draco. Oh, look at that fan out! Oh, goodness! Velisevich hit the dirt. Kenosha was able to hold it steady. Glover had the chicken out of it. And pit stop's coming. Halfway point of the race, almost. Ooh, that's an early pit stop, though. 30 laps to go. That almost puts you in a bad spot to need a 2-stop. Oh, keep an eye on this. Here comes Wyatt Jones, who's been trying to get around Bianca Lucero for most of this race. Has the line. Approaching turn number 3. He gets it. Huge opportunity there. Kozlov lost out once more to Lechty. But what a fight we're getting right now at the front of the throughout the field, not just the front of the field, throughout the field. Ishibashi, one of the cars that came in that last lap. So that's critical. Ishibashi could not make it on fuel. Led most of the race, though. Led 21 laps. Now it's Kovalkiewicz at the front of the field. This Kovalkiewicz pit from the lead of the race. Yes, is the answer. How about Porter-Kelly, who developed a really nice gap at the most important moment, also coming down pit lane. You don't want to leave yourself too exposed there. There goes Velisevich down pit lane. Here comes a lot of the field. Kenosha stays out an extra lap. This is crucial, because Kenosha is now going to be able to make this race, theoretically, on a single stop. That's vital information. Kenosha now leads and has this gap right now. There's Porter, there's Tacani, Von Sonnen, and Jones. Whoa! Trouble! Tacani, Porter, they go off track. They spin. Oh, wow. Caution is out in a huge, huge way. Wow. Porter and Tacani will draw the second caution of the race. This is a blessing and a curse for Kini Kenosha. Front of the field, pit lane is closed. Fuel mileage was a big deal. Anastasius Von Sonnen ends up second. Wyatt Jones ends up third in all this. Porter's going to be fuming. Porter just got turned by Tacani. And you see the damage on the 81 and the 94 or the 95. Kovalevich ended up pretty clear of Ishibashi. Ishibashi was closer to Porticelli than anything. Cameron Jackson has a little bit of damage as well. I guess from the ensuing melee that developed. Wow. That changed a lot. Oh, that's trouble for Lecty. That's a flat tire for Lecty. That's a flat tire. Oh, that's big. A huge flat tire moment for Nicole Lecty, the defending world champion. Just trying to make it back to pit lane. And that may be why Cameron Jackson had a little bit of damage. Maybe those two came together. So second caution of the night has come out here in Melbourne to kick off the race. That was getting hectic in a hurry. It's Cuny Kinoshita leading the way over Anastasia Sponsonen and Wyatt Jones. Bianca Lucero, Mateus Michelin, Elise Alexander, all of them had failed to make pit stops in this race. Shufin Zhang had not made it to pit lane yet. Evangeline Porter, Julia Takani, none of them have made it to pit lane yet. That is your entire top 9. Kovalevich was the first driver, is the first driver in line to make to have made a pit stop here. But remember, Sakura Ishibashi came in first. See some drivers sorting themselves through here. That is Mateus Michelin moving backwards. Oh, he may be out of fuel. He is out of fuel. Mateus Michelin is out of fuel. And that was a concern for those that had went long, that they could not make it all the way. See, there is Lecty, and there is repair work being done for Lecty. I think that's more than just a flat tire. I think that contact has damaged the rear suspension of Lecty's car. Because now Lecty is in the pit lane for an extended period of time. And here comes all those that did not pit. How about those that did? Yep, that was the expected response. Intriguingly, a lot of the field behind them did come in. So a quick caution here. Catherine Hart has finally returned to the racetrack. 28 laps down. At this time, you just kind of have to gain data, is what you have to do here. Catherine Hart's missed half the race so far. Rogers got ahead of Kinoshita. There's Kobayashi. Wyatt Jones still a pretty decent spot. He's still gained from where he was. He was outside the top half. Now he's pretty close to the top 10 here. There's Andrew Draco, who hopefully has been able to get some more work done to repair that 13 car. Oh, trouble, trouble, trouble. Von Sonnen in trouble. Honda has let go for the first time this season. The 76 car has let go of an engine. He's trying to stay out of the way here. You see Michelin still on pit lane as well. There's Petrovich on pit lane. It looks like Kozlov on pit lane. A lot of carbon fiber flying to start off the season. not what you want to see when you're looking at these races, but and you're seeing the smoke from Von Sonen's car. That is going to be so disappointing. They had such a good start of the season going here. Just absolute gut-wrenching for Von Sonen. Now, importantly, you saw a couple cars still rolling, getting ready to roll. That was Michelin that was rolling still. Pace car is in. Von Sonen comes down pit lane as well. Green flag is out. Away we go. And the field fans out. Approaching turn one. Here we go. Huge moment. Huge check up there. Kenosha checked up Wyatt Jones, who lost spots. Ended up right behind Lucero again, did Wyatt Jones. Time for the frantic restarts to continue. It is Kovalkiewicz ahead of Ishibashi, ahead of Porter Kelly, ahead of Velicevic. You see Catherine Hart at full song, but unfortunately not on the lead lap. 28 laps down. Whoa. A little bit of trouble there. And Catherine Hart coming down pit lane. See Cameron Jackson back on track as well. Who is that coming down pit lane right now? That is Alexander coming down pit lane. See the gap that they put already between themselves and Velicevic at the front of the field. I believe Porter Kelly is in pit lane. Porter Kelly is in pit lane. Huge issues there. Kozlov back on track after losing 2 laps. And there's a caution. Crash has happened here. Oh, wow. Huge crash. That is Hofson that was in the fence. What has happened to Esther Hofson? Caution out for the 3rd time. Oh, this is going to be a huge group. What happens here? It's going to be very interesting to see how this develops. Teammates once again, the 20 to 28. Don't tell me Hobson and Schuppenjing are together in this. Now Ocean gets clear of Draco. Oh, Hobson had to check up big time. Wyatt Jones was not taking no for an answer. So Hobson was getting absolutely cooked. Valdez in this group, so is Takani, who had damage from earlier. Oh, into the dirt and into Valdez, and that's why both end up in the tires. Hobson just overdrives at the worst possible time. Wow. Critical there. Valdez in the pit lane, Porter Kelly still in the pit lane, so that Cinderella run come to an end again. So, pit lane open once again. Cameron Jackson will come back down pit lane. Looks like a couple others will too. Looks like that is Bianca Lucero who will. Andrew Draco comes down pit lane as well. Artyom Kozlov comes down pit lane. So Hobson officially out of this race. Same with Mia Valdez. Wild race we had to kick off the weekend in Melbourne. Again, we have to do this again tomorrow for race 2 in Melbourne Sunday. Confirmed oil, engine failure for Anastasios Fonsona. So he's got a 10th place drop coming his way as well. Marcus Petrovic looking a little bit like a genius. Did not have a great time starting this race. On the flip side, will be able to serve the rest of his penalty tomorrow and won't see any of that 10th place grid penalty so far roll over into Mexico City in 2 weeks. So Petrovic gets to try to shrug that off a little bit. Because again, those grid penalties, they do roll over. Pace car is in. Green flag. Back out. Away we go. Here we go. See Kozlov back in pit lane. Whoa, Velicevic. Squeeze there on the apex turn 1. Now under threat from Kobayashi. Wyatt Jones trying to get ahead of Julia Takani. Didn't work that time. Wyatt Jones right now in 10th behind Takani. Takani, that was for 9th place. Rogers trying to stay in touch, this time with Ishibashi and with Kovalkiewicz. Coming to 21 laps to go here. A little bit of stability is running throughout the field now. Front of the field, still Kovalkiewicz over Ishibashi, over Rogers, over Velicevic, over Kobayashi. There's Glover in the top 6, excuse me. He's battling for 5th with Kobayashi. There's Shufin Zhang, who, despite everything on lap 1, has recovered quite well to get back into the top 7 here, ahead of Kunik and Noshida, and then Takani and Wyatt Jones. Talk about a much needed recovery. Again, Wyatt Jones did not qualify well at all. Right now sitting in the top 10. And for all the drivers right now, they're pretty happy with where they're at right now because there's 15 cars on the lead lap. If you're Kovalkiewicz, you're happy because the lowest you're starting right now is 15th. Glover trying to make a move on Kobayashi, it didn't stick. Starting lap 39, 20 laps to go. Glover pushing so hard to try to get around Kobayashi here to try to get into the top 5. Struggling to do so. Lisowicz looking to the inside of Rogers there. Rogers held on strong there. 4 cars in this lead fight, but Kovalkiewicz looks pretty set to try to waltz away here. Kobayashi right now holding on to 5th and holding on for dear life right now. Kobayashi right now just holding on for dear life for that 5th spot. Shifan Zhang also got around the 32 of Kenosha there. They pulled Andrew Draco back to pit lane for extended repairs. I think kind of giving up, trying to make some inroads there with where this race was going for him. With the pace loss that he was sustaining, I think they've made the right call. Shifan Zhang trying to find a way around Glover now. Trying to make her way back into the top 10, the top 5. The Taiwanese driver started on the front row for the 2nd week in a row, but this time has not seen a single lap led. Wyatt Jones, I think all things considered, happy to be where he's at right now, 10th place. Evangeline Porter sitting at distant 11th. Front of the field, Alicia Kovalkiewicz. Starts lap 43. 16 laps to go here in Melbourne. And the points, they will roll pretty significantly. Wyatt Jones will hold on to the championship lead. There's going to be a lot of positions bouncing around this weekend. Marcus Petrovic 2 laps down as things currently stand. Leaves us 14 cars on the lead lap at the moment. When the field inverts as things run right now, Kovalevich will start tomorrow's race from 14th on the grid. Bianca Lucero, who's currently 14th on the racetrack, will start from pole position tomorrow. Asher Crane, who started last week from pole position, will start tomorrow dead last. "15 laps to go here in Melbourne." And Kovalevich stretching the gap out to almost 2 seconds. Everyone fanning out just a little bit here. I think most of the bedlam is out of the way now for this Saturday race. Remember, tomorrow it's the alternate compound tires. While the field could almost get away with 1 pit stop, you will not be able to do that tomorrow. That has been a guarantee. Wyatt Jones closing in on Juliet Takani. Again, trying to battle for that 9th spot. Glover once again sent it on Kobayashi and it didn't stick. But Glover's adamant on trying to make a pass there for that top 5. Very adamant on it. Kovalevich takes over the most laps led counter. Ishibashi led 21 laps. Kovalevich now at 22. Several cars in pit lane. Effectively retired from this contest with 13 laps to go. Let's see, there's Matthias Michelin, who is still rolling around on the lead lap. Very important for him because he'll start this race 3rd tomorrow if things hold on as they have been. most intriguing thing going on right now is this battle with Glover, Kobayashi, and now Shufenjang in the mix. Shufenjang does not look to the inside there in turn 3. This is the battle for 5th. 6 cars in line, waiting for someone to make a mistake. Glover runs out wide, so did Wyatt Jones, so did Kinoshita. "11 laps to go at the line. They know the clock is ticking. Really close battle once again between these 3. Oh, looks like a little bit of assistance into the sand for Kobayashi. And again, they all hold on to it somehow. Ten laps to go. Again, this is the battle for 5th on your screen between Kobayashi, Glover, Shufenjang, there's Kini Kinoshita, Joey Takani, and Wyatt Jones a little bit further back, battling for 9th place. 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th, all in this line. Really close there. Shufenjang has dropped back just a little bit. Glover had to back up a lot, was getting very tight behind Kobayashi, overheating those front tires. Kobayashi has a lap or so reprieve now. 3, 1, and 2, now towards turn 3. Glover stays right in the slipstream of the 42. I'm going to talk about a resurgence for Kobayashi. DNF'd multiple times, DNQ'd multiple times last season, struggled to just make the field in that 42 car for Vante Racing. Didn't know what to do. Used the offseason to really find comfort zones to settle in to his life in the United States. 4th place last time out in Adelaide. Right now, sitting top 5 with a chance to get into the top 3 in points by holding on here. It's something that Vontair Racing desperately needed. It's something that Kobayashi desperately needed. There is life in that Ford team. Not universal. Obviously not universal. But it's a trend in the right direction. BK Glover also finished 10th last time out. Got to the top 10, was able to scrap his way there. Now trying to scrap his way to the top 5. But good momentum for the team, for Team Impulse. Kobayashi trying to defend. Glover looks pretty set on trying to make a pass happen here. As the laps continue to tick away, 8 to go. Coming to 7 to go. Over the curving. Chang with a really good run out of turns 1 and 2. Gonna really put Glover under pressure. Into 3. Kenoshita gonna put Shufin Jang under pressure instead. Shufin Jang has to go out wider and throw off that pursuit for 6th place. Kenoshita taking shots, trying to get around the 20. Glover once again right on the gearbox, Kobayashi. Trying to pinpoint when he wants to make his move. Glover trying the wrong spot. Lost 6th. Lost 7th. Almost lost 8th. Lost his patience and tried his dive bomb turn 1. Kobayashi wise enough to cut it off. Kobayashi has a little bit of a reprieve now. Here comes Kenosha to the inside of Shufin Jang. Not quite. Dang, still right there. Takani under threat once again from Wyatt Jones. Coming to 4 laps to go. Wyatt Jones being frustrated now by the lap car of Petrovic. Shufin Cheng right in the gearbox to Kobayashi. New challenger for the 42. The front of the field has not changed. It's Kovalkiewicz, Ishibashi, Rogers, and Velicevic still. Battle for 5th, though, continues to evolve. With 4 laps to go, coming to 3 to go. Car in pit lane. Who is that in pit lane? Ishibashi in pit lane. They cannot make it on fuel. Wow. Okay. That's a surprise. Kovalkiewicz fine. Rogers is fine. Velicevic is fine. 3 laps to go. That's a concern. Ishibashi and Glover both had to pit. Well, the pressure is right now so far on. Contact again. Shufin Cheng almost hooked Kobayashi into the concrete. Kobayashi saved it. Don't talk about rattling the cage. Goodness. Oh, trouble. Car in the wall. That is Velicevic. And that is caution out. And Thomas Rogers will steal one again. Oh my goodness. Natalia Velicevic, for the 2nd time, caught out on the last corner and ends up in the fence this time, and for the 2nd time in back-to-back races, it'll be Thomas Rogers that leads the field to the checkered flag. What happened to Natalia Velicevic? Kovalkiewicz was coming down pit lane. Could not make it on fuel. And just misses it. Completely misses pit entry. Oh my goodness. Kovalkiewicz did not complete that pit stop. Stays ahead of Sakura Ishibashi as a result. But we are ending this race under caution. What a miss by Velicevic. A gift for Natalia Velicevic, or for Thomas Rogers, who breaks a winless drought dating back to July 2018 and goes back to back. Had not led a lap in this race until that point. Will lead 3 laps en route to victory. speechless into the race. Thomas Rogers, Kage Kobayashi will end up on the podium. Same with Shufan Zhang. Kinemitsu Kinoshita ends up in 4th ahead of Julia Takani, and Wyatt Jones ends up in 6th ahead of Alicia Kovalkiewicz, who led the most laps but will not have a chance to win the race. Sakura Ishibashi in 8th, Evangeline Porter in 9th. Mateus Michelin ends up in the top 10. We end up with 13 cars on the lead lap here. BK Glover, who made a pit stop, seemed like a sacrifice fly, will start tomorrow's race from pole position. That's exciting. The front of the field will be led by BK Glover and Bianca Lucero, as the lead lap cars are inverted. So the top 13 will be inverted for tomorrow's race. Everyone 14th on down will start where they finished, beginning with Marcus Petrovic in the, I believe he'll end up taking over 14th position from Velicevic. Going down the north side of the Albert Park Lake for the last time today. What an absolute barn burner to kick off the doubleheader here in Melbourne. Again, we get to do it all tomorrow, 2 p.m. here on ABN Sports 1. Race 2. From Albert Park. This will change a lot without stating the obvious there. This will change a lot. Thomas Rogers, Kage Kobayashi, Shufan Zhang, when they cross our finish line, will take the podium here in Melbourne. Thomas Rogers has never in his career won more than one race in a season. He kicks off the season with 2. Team Impulse, as frustrated as they were in the preseason regarding their testing, they are here. 100% they are here, and they won a championship again. And it's that 2 car, once again, leading the way. As the pace car leads them across start finish. Thomas Rogers, back to back from Adelaide to Melbourne. He wins the Heineken Grand Prix. 2 in a row, 101 points to his name to kick off the nearly perfect season start. Absolutely well earned for Thomas Rogers, Kage Kobayashi, Shufan Zhang, podium finishers there. Kuni Kinoshita 4th, Julia Takani top 5, with the results that have been scrolling at the top of your screen. What a drive, as the field will wrap around for a parade cool-down lap to end this race. Here on ABN Sports 1, we're glad you joined us. Join us tomorrow for more of the same, more calamity, more hectic racing for race 2. On behalf of everyone here for Horizon Corporation, Champ Car, the Champ Car World Series, AT&T, all of the series partners here from Melbourne, I'm Carmen Sienna. Thank you all so much for tuning in. We'll see you tomorrow for race 2. Until next time, stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you on track.